Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Death of the Asia. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. Tonight we're gonna be talking about these church folk that been cutting up out here in these social media streets. Um, TD Jakes done went under fire. Kim Burrell done went under fire. John Gray, he laying up in the hospital somewhere with blood clots or something like that, but he hadn't did anything as of late that I just want to chime in on. So we just gonna send the prayer warriors over his way, keep him lifted up in prayer or whatever the case may be. But we're definitely gonna talk about TD Jakes and Kim Burrell. When y'all get in here, go ahead and like the video, share the video, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want us to have a deep dive dialogue, especially about TD Jakes going under fire. Um, we gotta have an honest conversation about this, and we gotta walk through this thing, right? I know a lot of people are upset and they are having an emotional response to what it is that he's saying. Well, what it is that he said on his most recent sermon, talking about women these days, they're more masculine and women are being raised to be more masculine. And it upset a lot of people. Initially, I was upset as well. And I actually thought to just get on here and drag TD Jakes down to the ground. That's actually what my intentions were at first, but I slept on it a little bit and I thought about it because even though I'm not a Christian, TD Jakes is one of those people that I have followed for a long time. Of course, you know, with most black people, we were raised in Christian households and things like that, and I still have a love for gospel music. It's certain gospel singers that I still listen to and everything. And TD Jakes was one of those pastors that I actually enjoyed listening to, even when I was younger. I never was indoctrinated into Christianity. I never honestly believed in a lot of the things that's in the Bible. I didn't look at it literally like a lot of adults looked at it, and I actually was scared of the book when I read it for myself. See, some people haven't actually, a lot of people haven't actually read the Bible. I read the Bible, the whole Bible, you know. And back when I was coming up, it was that thing where they were saying you need to read what's in red. So when I used to sit there and read what's in red, it scared the mess out of me. It was kind of like on some Harry Potter type, you know, type situation. It seemed like a whole lot was going on in Hogwarts to me. So it scared the living daylight out of me as a young kid. And so when I just started going to church and everything and listening to the pastors, I really wouldn't buy into anything when I was younger. So I wasn't able to be indoctrinated. Like the only thing that had me playing Christian was just being young, not being able to process things, and this fear of going to hell because that's what they push on you. So, like, even my minimum participation in that religion was based on this fear of possibly going to hell. So once I got older, was able to process things, was able to do proper research and everything, I was okay with my views on religion. So that's that. But even with that being said, TD Jakes is still one of those pastors that I can listen to because he dropped gems. You know, it's things that he say. You don't have to be. People don't understand that it don't matter what your religion is. It's something that you can learn from everybody. You don't have to be a Christian to be able to pick up the things that TD Jakes will say. You know what I'm saying? So I actually am a big fan of TD Jakes. Um, I actually have his, I think it was his first book that he put out, Woman Thou Art Loosed. Here it is right here. Got the book right here. I still got the book. You get what I'm saying? Um this is the reason why I thought about this book, and I said, you know what? Um when I thought about this book and I thought about that sermon that he did that upsetted people, I said, you know what? TD Jake's been saying this same thing for a long time in a different way. Now, I am going to give him a piece. We're going to get down and dirty. I am going to give him a piece because I can tell that it is some difference in what he said and the way that he said it. And I don't appreciate it. That's the reason why I was upset. It was more so of the time and him saying it, it was more so the time and him saying it, why he said it, and his delivery and everything like that. Before I go any further, I'm gonna go ahead and play his sermon so y'all can hear it, and then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dissect this thing, and I'm gonna tell y'all some things that I actually think is happening right now. And some people probably be feeling like I'm reaching when I go there, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. So first, let me let y'all listen to what he said. Let me see. I'm gonna share my screen. Hold on one second, y'all. Let's see. All right. Hold on. Let me go play this thing. Uh, where is it? Hey, that's TD Jakes. Okay.
This breaks all sociological orders of the culture we're living in now. Because we are raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house. But until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning.
First of all, when you listen to that clip, it sounds like an attack. It's given a Kevin Samuels vibe. He's a pastor. And even though Kevin Samuels, he didn't have any filters about himself, he doesn't really, he didn't hold a certain seat, and he didn't have a certain status to display the type of social responsibility and emotional intelligence that I would think someone like TD Jakes should be upheld to. So my thing with TD Jakes is his delivery. Not get into the actual root of the problem. And he's talking about raising these women to be masculine. Who are raising these women? What is the environment? What is the climate that we're in? How is society these days? Why is it necessary for women to be the way that they are? You can't talk about women being masculine without talking about men actually being men. Okay, all of these things that he's mentioning that a woman is doing and these accolades that she has and everything like that, it's because when we take a seat and we take a step back, a lot of times you have these men out here that take it as if they're protecting and providing for their woman, and the woman is maybe a housewife or anything like that, and the man is paying the bills, they look at it as a way to mistreat the woman. I see so many memes and different conversations around here about stupid shit about, oh, if the man pay all the bills, then he should be able to have another woman. He should be able to do this, this, that, and the third. And that is the conversation that is going on, instead of teaching these men that it doesn't work like that, that there is some virtue with actually taking care of your woman, and the woman, there's some virtue with actually taking care of your man. It's actually honoring that. So if you're not speaking to them, then don't speak to us, because women out here doing what they gotta do. And if you're so fragile as a man where you can applaud your woman and stand behind her and be happy of her accomplishments, or you feel like just because she has accomplished something that she doesn't need you, then you need to reassess yourself as a man, because the things that we need from a man are not things that money can buy. Just because I was able to go out and do things on my own, it doesn't mean that I don't need my man for things that my money could not buy. And so it's unfortunate that be these men talking piece. Oh, you doing all of this, you doing all of that. So now you don't need me. Have a woman actually came out and said that she didn't need you. And I noticed that a lot of us think that these men be ego tripping, but a lot of these men lack confidence in who they are as a woman, as a man. And they feel like, hey, I need you to be down here in order for me to feel like I'm running something. And why is it that this conversation is only had in our community? It's only our men. I don't see where, even though I don't be around other racial groups and everything, and I don't hear what they talk about around the dinner table, we do all have access to social media. So I don't see other races of men having this conversation. What's wrong with your woman being empowered? Because the thing is, these very same men that will sit up and say that they're not worrying about the woman accolades and what she have and her acting like she don't need him, it'd be the same men that'll put out these disclaimers about how we need to be going 50-50. It's like you can't win for losing. It's like one minute you need me to pay the bills, the next minute you get mad because I could pay the bills with or without you. So what is it? And I'm so sick and tired of these people in certain levels of life that they start pandering to. They start off pandering to women, and they use women in order to build them up and generate their success. But then later on in their careers, they start attacking women and breaking them down. Like what's the actual point in that? And I don't know too many women and that's just so masculine to the point where a man just feeling some type of way. I don't feel like these things that people are saying. I do know that a lot of this stuff is true. We do have a lot of women that are very masculine. They work too much into their masculinity. But the thing is you can't be expecting your woman to be your partner, work, hustle, and grind like you, have to be masculine all day, and then think that just because she come home to you, it is going to get turned off. Now, it should, but it doesn't happen like that. It's not realistic to have that expectation. And then now you have to reassess what's your idea of femininity. What do you think femininity look like? Because femininity is not necessarily meek and mild. Femininity can be tough. Femininity can be rough. There's different variations of femininity. Every woman does not display her femininity the same. So we have this. I think that in this social climate that we have right now with this gender war that's going on between black men and black women, I feel like it was so tone deaf for TD Jakes to use his platform and to come out with this. Even if some of the things that he was saying is true, because there is some truth to what he's saying. However, he didn't say it in a way that I feel like a man of the cloth should be saying it. It seemed like he's trying to get down with these internet antics or whatever. Baby, you got a lot enough going on in your family. We haven't forgot that your daughter was out here allegedly stealing kids. You get what I'm saying? You got enough going on in your family or whatever, where you don't need to give into the antics, because we still remember that allegedly your daughter was out here stealing kids, right? And just to consider the social climate, I would have liked to have heard from a pastor some solution based information, knowing knowing that these men, if you have knowledge, or you feel like women out here, they are masculine, then I'm sure you are aware of what's going on out here in our society, especially in the Black community, with this gender war that we have going on. So I feel like he missed a mark in order to bridge the gap and bring forth some solutions. And he just caused further division. You had so many people who talk crazy about him before. I've known men that they can't stand TD Jakes just because he's a Christian pastor. They don't like pastors or whatever the case may be. But now all of a sudden they flocking to him because it's causing that division, and it's kind of trying to confirm their negative thoughts that they have of Black women. And I'm gonna tell you something. Just having this conversation, like right now, it's kind of making me a little bit emotional, because, and I hope I don't start crying because I done got emotional now just thinking about it. It's like, you know how we deal with racism and everything, and sometimes people will be like, what did we do to y'all? Like, why are you so mad at us? You know what I'm saying? The divide with Black men and Black women, it's kind of starting to feel like that. It's kind of starting to feel like you're my enemy, but I love you, but you're hurting me. You get what I'm saying? And I know we all have to find our tribe and all of that kind of stuff, but it's kind of like scary to exist in this world where you already have to deal with like racism and stuff, and then you have to deal with feeling like the group of men in general, that's part of your demographic, they have an innate hate for you as well. And it gets to the point where you're like, what did we really do to you? You know, like, why why do you hate us so much? You get what I'm saying? So I be trying to process that, because I'm like, where did all of this come from? Where did it come from where men out here, especially heterosexual men, I'm like, y'all really out here with problems with women? And I'm talking about using each and every opportunity to talk crazy to a woman. It could be a random woman. It's like, let me tell you about yourself. You don't know this woman from a Pepsi can. Just because she's Black, you feel like you need to straighten her. You know, I've had so many people, so many men that would come to me with an attitude, come to me with some BS on their mind, come to me ready to charge, ready to attack. And when I fire back, or when I, get back with them, is, oh, you're being masculine. What are you being? You think I'm not, I can't depend on y'all to protect me. So I have to protect myself. I'm not going to lay down and die for nobody. And that's the thing. It's like, you cannot put us in knowing that we're in this position out here and leave us vulnerable, but you are not telling these men anything. You get what I'm saying? You cannot tell us to not work hard and do the things that is necessary in order for us to be able to maintain ourselves, when you have these men that feel like we're not even worthy to be taken care of. We got to struggle. If a Black man is loving and taking care of a Black woman, and doing right by her, he's a simp. He gets talked about negatively for loving and taking care of his black woman. It's like at this point, it feels like black men don't see us worthy of anything. It's just like whatever, I'm mad at you for doing good for yourself, and I'm also mad at you for being in a position where there is a man that's taking care of you. I'm gonna talk about him, and I'm gonna talk about you too. You get what I'm saying? And it's at some point, it's just like, give us a break. You know what I'm saying? Because women only coming back at y'all because y'all come at us. That's it. If it was a case where we were just able to exist and we didn't have all of that, and we still had our men loving on us and grabbing the air and love songs or whatever the case may be, missing us, ready to come home, you know what I'm saying, can't breathe without us and all this other kind of stuff or whatever, and just really loving on a woman, it wouldn't be like this, but it's just like, dang, give us a break. Because what did we really do? And in this, what is this thing that y'all saying is going on? Is it really that deep? Is it really that serious? Why put this out in the general population? Why not just deal with the people who align with the things that you want? Because you can't straighten every woman. When you get through having that sermon and you attacking people in general, you're not going to be able to correct all of these women. And it's unfortunate that these black men these days feel like they have to correct us, or they're in some type of position to just tell each and every woman what to do. You have men that will say, I'm not going to protect a woman that is not my woman or is not in my family. So if you're not willing to just to cover women in general, I feel like that you don't have the right to correct women in general. You don't have the right to be talking to every woman that you wouldn't even protect, even if she was acting the way that you said that you want her to act. Because the innate hate that y'all have for a woman, it's like y'all not gonna even take the time to see if that woman is what you're wanting, or you feel like it's worthy in order to have your protection. And it's just unfortunate that it has come to this. I don't look to like random black men to protect me. It's a thank you if you do. I appreciate it, but I can't depend on that. You get what I'm saying? And it's like you have so many of our men just for nothing, that'll make like other women are better than us, abandon us and get with other races or whatever. And people could date whoever they want to date, and they'll make up all of these excuses as to why, and drag women down and everything. And the crazy thing is, when these black men get done beating us up, and we decide to love who love us, and we decide to maybe entertain dating outside our race, they talk about us then too. Oh, you a bad wench. It's like you want us to be stuck. You want to be able to treat us like white men treat y'all. That's what it is. Y'all want to be able to have the power of a white man. And so y'all go after black women. Because if we were that bad and we're not worthy of y'all love, why would y'all care if we went outside of our race? You can't. I'm a single woman, right? I'm single. And I have over here these black men tearing a new hole in my ass every chance I get, right? Black men telling me, oh, you don't deserve to be loved. You're this. You're too big. You don't deserve love. You get what I'm saying? You're black. You don't deserve love. You're a woman of a certain age. You don't deserve love. These men, black men, are really out here telling us that we do not deserve love. Right? So now you get somebody of another race who's loving you and loves you for real. Those very same black men would get mad. Don't you know, after a black man would sit up here, and I'm one that I'm honestly not really into. I've never dated outside of my race or anything, but I'm just trying to get people to understand something. You know how many black men that have sit up or in their commentary or whatever that'll say, "Oh, you're a woman of a certain age. You're a woman that is overweight. You're a black woman and y'all have attitudes, right? You're not worthy to be loved. I wouldn't choose you. This man that you might be interested in, he doesn't want you." And say if I were to go and get with a man of a different race, all of a sudden I'm a race trader. I'm a bed wench. You didn't want me. So why do you care about what I go and do? You didn't want me. You get what I'm saying? So that's the logic that a lot of women have, and I think that's the logic that a lot of women need to start employing. I actually have gotten to the point where, I even had somebody, I'm gonna tell you this, that's so crazy. I even said that, you know what, I'm gonna start exploring other options, and I actually had somebody that told me, "Me and the other races don't like y'all." It's like, at that point, it's just that y'all just it's y'all just want to have us as y'all punching bag at this point. It's kind of like it's kind of like abuse at this point. It's really abusive, because it's like, I feel as though you don't have a way out. I feel like you don't have a way out. So because I feel as though that you don't have a way out and you're stuck, I could treat you any kind of way that I want to. We're not stuck. We're not. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be very clear. I know that there are men out here that love black women down. You hear me? I know that there are men out here that love every type of woman, shape, size, height, whatever the case may be, skin complexion, all of that. I know that there's men out there like that, but we're just being specific on this thing that is going on in our community between the black women and the black man, this gender war that is raging on, unfortunately, that is causing all of this commotion and all of this conversation. And we just need to do a better job. And I just really felt bad that a man of the cloth, someone like TD Jakes, someone that I actually like, did not use their opportunity in order to bridge the gap. It was just, the timing was completely off. It was the wrong time for that. It's too much going on. We already just done put Kevin Samuels in the dirt. You get what I'm saying? Like, the maggots ain't even started eating him yet. And here comes TD Jakes with that same type of rhetoric. And it's like, dude, come on, man. Even if you felt like that, you have to know better. You have to be more emotionally intelligent. Like, you're somebody that people listen to and actually look up to. Use your platform to bridge the gap. It's not use your platform to blow smoke up somebody's ass or anything like that, or pander to women in a way where you're not being honest about the conversation. But your conversation, sir, it can't not be one-sided with the status that you have and who you are. You just can't do it. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let me pull out. Y'all know I have, like I said, I have one of his first books, Woman, Thou Art Loosed. In his book, when I tell you, this isn't TD Jakes' first time of talking about this. It's the way he's talking about it. In Woman, Thou Art Loose. Let me go to it real quick, y'all. When y'all get in here, go ahead. If y'all watching, go ahead and like the video. Share the video. And if this is your first time tuning in, subscribe. And drop down in the comments and let's talk about this, because I'm in emotional. I'm actually in an emotional space right now. Like when I process everything, it literally hurts my feelings, because it ain't even got to be all that. We got so much to fight as a people and so much going on. And we out here having these fights with each other. We out here having fights with each other about certain things. We can't do nothing but fuck one person at a time. So why you fighting a whole demographic of women, and women fighting a whole demographic of men? Like, just get your person and go on about your business, raise your family, and take care of you. Sweep around your own front door. You get what I'm saying? All of this noise, it's just it gets to you after a while. Um, but TD Jakes, actually, one of his chapters in his book is the origins of femininity. That's on page 81. Oh. Um So, in his book about the origins of femininity, there were some talking points, and he put it eloquently, but there were talking points about how women's femininity needs to be guarded, and women need to basically allow themselves to have a certain level of vulnerability, and how you got to be careful of who you let uncover you, but you do deserve to be covered. Um, and started talking about this war, and he was basically saying that women tend to be more preferred than men and everything, because their femininity needs to be protected. And the enemy, there's a part, he said, the enemy may be taking advantage of you. He said women do tend to be more prayerful than men once they get committed. But if you are a woman living today and you are not learning spiritual warfare, you are in trouble. The enemy may be taking advantage of you. He is attracted to you because he knows you were designed as a receptacle to help meet someone's vision. If the enemy can get you to help meet his vision, you will have great problems. Why? Because God said, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. So, with that being said, TD Jakes recognizes that there is an enemy that is causing some type of, that can cause some division. And this is what I said about using your platform and making it make sense. He understands that there's an enemy that is causing some division, that is causing a problem. Let's identify that enemy, TD Jakes. Who is the enemy? Is the black man the enemy that is causing the division? I think not. Who is causing the division? Who is creating an environment and circumstances to where we're living in a world where women have to tap more into their masculine energy? And let's be very clear. I don't like when people talking to in extremes, because here's the thing. We all need our masculine and our feminine energy. We have to balance that, you know? So sometimes people can take the smallest little thing, the smallest little gesture, the smallest little thing that a woman say, and they'll be like, oh, she's being masculine. That's not always bad. That's not always bad. Um, we both in house, in body, have masculine and feminine energy. We just have to find that balance. But TD Jakes, you need to identify who's the devil in your book. You need to let us know who is the devil in your book. Who is this enemy that is causing the division? You wrote this book. You identify the devil. You tell us who the enemy is. If you can personify the femininity and say that a woman is the one that houses this thing, then you could personify who's the enemy, who's the devil that is causing this division between black men and black women. So before you use your platform and to attack black women, I think you need to go ahead and cross-reference your book and go back to when you was talking about there's an enemy and there's a devil that exists that is causing these problems. So use your platform, and instead of you attacking black women, attack the devil, attack the enemy, attack who is the problem. I bet you won't use your platform and do that because it's easier for you to attack us. I bet you won't put a name on who's the one that's causing the problem. And we know who that is. I bet you won't use your platform to do that. Use your platform to do that. And then somebody gonna have to be writing a book about your ass is loosed. Because it's lucrative for people to get on their platforms and for them to drag black women. It's lucrative. The devil, the enemy, like to see the bullshit that you're doing. So you're being used. Let's be very clear. You're being used. It was something else. It was something else in his book that I wanted to touch on real quick. A woman without there was the woman without excuse. I think there was 151. Let's see here. I'm gonna take you to church, TD Jakes. We're gonna go to church. 151. He was talking about something about being defensive and your problems becoming your security blanket. And he also was talking about straightening out your attitude. In here, defensive praise. So, what else? Let the walls come down, allowing somebody to come in or whatever. He mentioned these things. He mentioned these things in his book. So that's the reason why I'm not surprised at the sermon. I'm surprised on how he delivered it. I'm surprised at how tone deaf he was. I'm surprised at how he didn't just, break everything down and just put a name on who's the enemy, TD Jakes. What's the problem? I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's interesting when I see men of a certain caliber who are not actually dating, haven't dated for a long time. TD Jakes has been married for a long time. So he doesn't have anyone that's coming home doing the things that he said that women are doing. Unless there has been some changes in the household. The timing is off with this conversation. So my thing is when I think about what TD Jakes said, being that he has been married for so long, it's always interesting when men start having these conversations. And I think it's some things that's coming down the pipeline. I really do. I feel like this sermon in this particular climate was done for a reason. It sounds like there may be some trouble in the household where he has been kind of started picking up different energy that he had to be dealing with. And I feel like when him having this sermon right now, he could kind of like put his grievances out there and have them championed and have a lot of people rally behind it. So when he does do something in his marriage, and we start hearing about the dismantling of his marriage, I feel like he's planting that seed to where we'll be able to digest it. And he's able to go ahead and give us the excuse before the apology ends up happening. I don't know. I don't want to put nothing on nobody's family or whatever the case may be, but it's just weird to me. I feel like there's been some things that's been going on over there at that household for him to come out like this right here with all this going on. That's just me. That's how I feel about it. Um, it is what it is. I wish that there was some way to just rectify this, but I just got to a point where, you know what, like the great Saint Project Pat said, only fuck with those who only fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? That's scripture. And I live by that. So it's disheartening just because in general I love black men. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's just a family member, whether it's just a random person, whether it's somebody I'm dealing with romantically, I just love black men. You get what I'm saying? Them, like, they're a reflection of me. You get what I'm saying? We in this shit together. So for me, it's like, to not feel that same love being reciprocated it's hurtful. It is hurtful. I ain't gonna tell no lie. I ain't gonna act like it doesn't bother me. And I ain't gonna even act like sometimes when I see those attacks that um I reserve my anger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lash out. I ain't reserving nothing. I lash out real quick because it's an attack and you're not gonna attack me. You get what I'm saying? And I want the black men out there to understand, the black men who are not like that. I want y'all to understand there is an attack. There is a war. That's the same thing with racism. Like, people got to understand there is a war that's raging. With the black men and the black women, there is a war that is raging. So if you a black man and you not like that, understand that when we are approached and those who oppose us is met with that same type of energy, don't change the way that you look at us. Just know that in that moment, we have no other choice but to protect ourselves, because the men who are not like that don't even associate with those men, so they are not even in a position to counsel those men. But we need more people who are not like that, to use their platforms in order to bridge the gap if they're going to talk about it. Don't constantly like keep highlighting the negative and pointing fingers. If we're going to actually have this conversation and we're going to try to mend things, we have to be open to listening to both sides, and it can't be this finger pointing thing. We can't keep doing that. We can't. You know what I'm saying? And we got to get to the root of some issues. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I remember when I was living by myself and I was struggling, and I was taking care of everything, but you know, I was struggling. You know, it was hard. And I would meet men and they'd be like, "Oh, you got it." And this, it's just because I have the basics. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that it's when I didn't have as much or whatever, when my situation changed and everything, and I lost my independence in a sense, I ended up having more men wanting to take care of me. But those very same men wouldn't help me like on my rent or my light bill or something like that. Oh, you know, it's okay to help a woman that seems like she got it all together, because sometimes we be breaking down in the inside. We don't be wanting to carry all this stuff. You know, just because on the outside you see that this woman is taking care of her business or whatever, that doesn't mean that she doesn't need you, and she don't need your help in other areas. And that doesn't mean you're, to me, I feel like when a man says that because a woman got her stuff together that she feel like he doesn't need her, I mean, he feel like she doesn't need him. Really, it's unfortunate that you feel like you ain't nothing but a bankroll, where you feel like the only place that you're needed at is financial. Because if we acted like the only thing we needed from y'all was financial, it'll be a problem. But when you sit there and say women act like they don't need us because they're able to pay their own bills, they're able to buy their own cars, they're able to buy their own house, women act like they don't need us, I don't know how she need me, then you're deduce yourself down to just a bankroll. It's more to you than your money. So it's a problem with y'all. If y'all haven't figured out that it's more to y'all than y'all money, and we need y'all for more than y'all money, y'all gonna continue to have a problem with us. Get it together. And that being said, let's go ahead, because I'll be here all night and day talking about this, because this one of them subjects that it's so many layers. So we'll be here all night and day talking about that. Let's get down to this Kim Burrell. Baby, Kim Burrell done went to these people church and done told the congregation about themselves. I don't know who Kim Burrell thought she was. She got up there acting like she was one of the queens of comedy or whatever. And Kim Burrell, she been on some BS for a very long time. I've never been into Kim Burrell, never liked her, whatever the case may be, because she has the nastiest attitude that I have seen in a very, very long time. And baby, she is not giving anything for her to be sitting up talking about anybody in the way that she be talking about folks, because Kim Burrell is on this high horse, been on this high horse or whatever. In her attitude, I don't mind somebody being arrogant, feeling themselves or whatever. I don't be tripping off nobody and be thinking, oh, they think they all that or whatever. But she's very much mean girl. She's a mean girl. And she has her attitude is so bad. If y'all didn't listen to what I ain't gonna even play all of it because I don't want the copyright to hit me or whatever, but I'm gonna let y'all listen to some of what Kim Burrell said at these people church. And these folks don't need to hire her for none other talking gig at all, because it was so nasty to where actually I thought it was like some type of skit. At first, that's what I thought it was. At first, I was like, oh, this is real. Let me let y'all listen to this real quick, if y'all hadn't listened to it. Let's see here. And share and share this video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you hadn't already. But let me get this Kim Burrell rolling, baby. Hold on. Let's see. I know you lying.
You gotta choose up. Find you some value. You know, sometimes before we get friends, we have to do an interview. How long have you been broke? How many times have you changed your name on your light bill?
No, ma'am.
How many of your bills in your little cousin's name? Do you live in a trailer home or a house? You know, you understand. It's not about status or material things. It's just about choices. You know, life is different now. And, you know, we are at church. Thank God we're here. Those of us who walk in by faith without a mask and no vaccine. And so we honor the Lord. God is good. I respect all of the men of God here. And respect you. Can y'all clap so I don't feel strange right about now?
You should feel strange.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to meet each other when y'all invite me to come to your church. I'm not as expensive as I seem. And so, I don't know. Maybe you got a little left over from your PPP.
No, ma'am. Let me get her off here.
prayer, praise, and power. Yes.
No, ma'am.
Man, isn't the Lord great?
Uh-uh.
Man.
No, she listen. Let me cut her off.
Because
Kim Burrell done cut up. You hear me? She done cut up. That was just so unnecessary. And why? What's wrong with these people of the cloth? Why? What's the point of using your platform for a holiday? She done cut up. You hear me? Let me see. Somebody in the comments that said something. Let me see some. Giraffe Play said hello. Hello, Giraffe. Thanks for joining me tonight. Baby, what's wrong with Kim Burrell? You up there, you not looking like nothing, baby. You don't even you got a bunch of money, but you don't even look expensive. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what's up with her. She lost that little weight or whatever, and you still built like a bag of nickels. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just you can't be talking about somebody and you ain't never been that girl. You get what I'm saying? So where do you get off with doing all of this and talking down on people, and especially talking about people being poor? People go broke giving their tithes to the church. You know what I'm saying? A lot of poor people, they go to church for hope and feeling like, when they leave up out of here, you know, their prayers are gonna get answered, and there's a change gonna come. You get what I'm saying? And you only talk down on these people and degrade them. She does way too much. Kim Burrell, I remember she was on that show Sunday's Best, and she was talking about she wasn't talking about the contestant, but I remember it was a dude that she was laughing at on Sunday's Best when she was judging. It was her. Who was up there? I think it was Yolanda Adams, Donnie McClurkin, and Kim Burrell, and it was somebody else. Kim Burrell and Donnie McClurkin, they just sitting up here laughing at the guy up there while he's performing and everything. And I'm just like, come on now. That's too much. But he stood up for himself and got her right on together. But it's just these people, I'm going to tell you something. People be wondering why, a lot of people don't be going to church anymore. Wondering why people are jumping ship and going into exploring different faiths and different walks of life and everything. Is because the church, it's not seeming like a welcoming place anymore. Every time you look up, it's some BS going on in the church. And I don't blame people for abandoning the church, because who wants to go to church and leave there feeling like crap? It's a lot of people that's there that got their name, they phone, they light bills and phone bills or whatever the case in other people's name. And how is that your business? I don't care who name my friend got their light bill in. That ain't my business. How is that your business? Like, are you actually meeting people and asking them, hey, who name your light bill is in? Are you actually doing that? Like, it just really doesn't make any sense. And between TD Jakes and that doggone Kim Burrell, baby, I done had it with these church folk. But anyway, I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate being able to sit here and have this conversation and actually just actually walk through and process this thing with TD Jakes. And I hope there was some things that I was putting down that y'all were able to pick up and carry along with y'all. And we just have to do better. We have to treat each other better. We can't expect others to treat us a certain type of way when we are treating each other like shit. So we have to do better in how we treat each other. But I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. And also catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast, along with Heezy, Supreme Rod, and Brother Truth. We're 4 panelists that just break down hip hop, everything that's going on in hip hop, the things that has gone on in the past, and what's going on here in the present, and what to look for in the future. So definitely check out the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast if you love hip hop, because we get down and dirty. We talk about all things that get fiery sometimes, but it's definitely a good show. The link is down below in the comments. Go ahead, head over there, subscribe to that. You'll see me every Monday over there. And make sure you subscribe to this particular channel, the Desk of Deasia. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with me tonight. I'm about to tune out. Y'all have a good one.
I hope you black men were paying attention. I hope you black men were paying attention.